Benjamin Clementine is a London musician, singer-songwriter who won a Mercury Prize back in 2015 with his debut album At Least For Now. I friggin' love that album. I think it was a very unique singer-songwriter album that pulled from like the Victorian era in terms of the musicianship and some like French sounds in there too. It's an album that pulls you into a different time and a different place that only artists like Joanna Newsom and Richard Dawson are ever able to do, and Benjamin Clementine is also a man that can do this incredibly well, and he makes fascinating music. With this new album though, I tell a fly, I'm not quite as engrossed with it all. I think there's something holding me back this time around. I'm not really quite sure what it is, but I think at points some of his ideas with the music just feels like rehashed ideas from that debut album. It is quite melodramatic at points too, with like songs like Paris Called Blimey, where there's this like haunting little ooh in the background. It just feels a little silly to me. But I can't deny that like musically this is above, like it goes above and beyond in comparison to a lot of albums that you'd hear. I mean, some of the orchestrations, the instruments brought in to just elevate it up to new heights. I do appreciate that, I can't deny that at all. But at points, I don't know, I feel like there's just a bit too much going on with the instrumentation. I just feel like there's just so much thrown in to kind of give it that impact that feels like I'm hit less because of it. I suppose it's that kind of less is more attitude, and I do feel like that album suffers from this because it just feels like everything is thrown in. It just doesn't feel as authentic as his debut, which felt really surreal with how it was able to encapsulate that old sound, whereas this time around it feels a little tacked on. There is this nice jazz element though to this album, which I don't think was as prominent on his debut album, which I do appreciate. Some of the drumming patterns do feel like they're performed by expert jazz musicians, and the piano playing does often sound quite complex. But I can't help but feel more appreciation for a song like Jupiter on this album, which is much more simplistic. It's basically just Benjamin Clementine singing over this minimalistic instrumental. There's not too much flashy going on, and I kind of feel more connected to him as a singer on this one. I don't know why, but I just feel like he has a bit more of a personality. Not that I'd say I'm more related to this track than the other tracks, but it's like there's just a bit more of a human connection to this one. Because as much as I'm massively impressed by everything that's going on throughout this album, I can't help but feel like there's no connection to the music, really. Perhaps it is the lyrical themes that tend to meander a little bit, like at one point we have like songs that are going a little political, like Phantom of Aleppoville, should I say, to then a track like One Awkward Fish, which tells the story of this boy, and then a track like God Save the Jungle, which is referencing England literally being a jungle, and things are a little kind of crazy. Like there's not a whole lot connecting these tracks together, it's just kind of all a bit jumbled, which I don't mind too much. It's not like there has to be a tied theme going on, but it kind of feels like there is, but yet it's not really explained all that well. I don't know, I think maybe there's a bit of bias going into this album, to be honest, because I just loved that, At Least For Now, so much that I feel that maybe not much else could have really topped that in terms of a sophomore release. I'd still recommend this album though, it's a pretty good album. Benjamin Clementine is a very unique singer-songwriter out there right now. He's very talented, he's a very handsome man too, and this album I would say is a C for me. Let me know what you thought of this album if you haven't heard it already. Go listen to it if you haven't. And yes, subscribe to the channel for more reviews, and have a good day.